midnight, follow the searchlights. To celebrate the Oakley Festival, Guest Furniture of Oakley is open all this weekend, and they're offering specials, like a 3-piece McCann leather lounge reduced to $2,990, and McCann leather sofas slashed to an incredible $790. Also, Chairworks leather chairs from a low $308, including footstool. So for delivery before Christmas, 12 months interest-free and open all day this Sunday, go to Guest Furniture Oakley, 1414 Dandenong Road, Saturday 9 till 5 and Sunday 10 till 5.
In the survey this week, and the second of them comes from a couple of rappers who call themselves Gang Star. We like this one, bit of party vibe. This is 36, Love It.
What's up, Australia? This is the Guru, and my man DJ Premier's in the house of Gang Star right here on 1040 Australia.
But hey, I don't want to miss it. Wonderful opportunity. My birthday, my doing. But see, I know what I want. Someone will be there for the whole night. The honey is so fine. But now she's hung up the line. That's because I told her I'm busy. She made like a bridge. Started chewing my head up. Feeling that I spend more time with friends. And also, she said I thought it was reason. I said I know that she had plans. So please understand. Right now I'm lounging with my man. I guess I didn't realize I turned it. She said I had to turn it. Just neglected like that. Then she started bringing up past me. She kept asking me, how come I'm under this laughing? I said, hey baby, you calm down. I'm still around. And it's for you that my heart found. Then I concentrate her on. You say I treat you wrong. Well, why you flipping at me? She said something else and then clicked. Left me alone on the phone with the phone. And now I'm loving it. Arguments in the crib, on the street, on the train. I'm crazy everything still. When she ain't there, I feel bad, I feel ill. Frowning cause I'm down in the dump. The other night I took her out. But after she was there for a few, some girl that I knew stepped up and asked me to come see.
Yo, hit 36 for Big Star. That's Love It. First weekend of the survey. These are two guys. One is DJ Guru, who's the loudmouth. The other's a guy called Premier.
Yes, we talked about things we like, things we hate, about everything, about people, about, society, everything, it's like we had a lot in common. We're different in a lot of ways, because I'm a little more, I'm more vocal than he is, which is, I guess, a characteristic of a rapper maybe, but he's laid back a lot. I'm more anxious sometimes about things and about wanting success, and but we compliment one another. We talk about everything.
On Take 40 Australia's DJ Guru from America's Gang Star. Now at 6:35, Extreme again.
The verse all the way through it, and just write more words.
Okay, this is better. This is your voice.
I
a big Altona welcome to the Ballarat master on back at the back wheel, Rod Seisland. And there's the Victorian handlebar heroes, Dean Burt on the Kawasaki, bike number 5. Stephen Maguire from out of Bacchus Marsh on bike number 31. And number 6, Troy Doran from out of Geelong. But here's the Wheelie Whiz, Wheelie King himself, Rod Seisland, who works for Mars Bars, and he's certainly one of the handlebar heroes. But here's the top 3, and the next 2 from out of New South Wales, Philip Sargent from out of Orange, and from out of Oakdale in New South Wales, Anthony Gilbert. On bike number 7, he hails from out of Acacia Ridge in Queensland. Would you please welcome bike number 7, running second in the point score at the moment, Queensland's Peter Melton. And the defending champion on the Peter Jackson Yamaha, currently holding down the point score and looking set to make it 2 big supercrosses. Please welcome the Craig Dirk. Gee, you've got to yell louder than that. Come on, jeez. Somebody told me that you guys can yell. Well, come on, would you please welcome defending champion, current point leader, Mr. Craig Dirk. Oh, come on. You should have heard him in Perth last week. Now, come on, before we start the show, what about we all learn?
A message from the...
Well, do you have a good night here in Victoria?
For more information, call 619...
No one says much, do they? Takes a while.
Or your local rehabilitation provider. Sunglass work.
Kawasaki's, Suzuki's, Yamahas, ready for the champagne, the glory and the gold. One winner. And he'll pick up an extra $210. Listed in tonight's program. If you haven't got a souvenir program, slip out now and grab one so you can follow the action and the points chase throughout the final round of the Australian Supercross Championship. But here's the Revs event, the Elimination Moto. The gate drops backwards, so if anybody touches it, he automatically penalises his start. Tremendous amount of work gone into this track by Trevor Brooks, done a tremendous job in putting this 3,000 tons of soil into place to make this man-made a hell. Six riders, 5 laps. After lap 1, 2 must drop out. Then at the end of each lap, whoever's running last drops out. In the hands of the starter. They get set behind the gate. Ready to go. Gate drops. We got action. First turn ready. On the inside, Suzuki mounted Stephen Maguire. On the outside of him, it's Anthony Gobert and Troy Doran in there. Up over the tabletop for the first time, Stephen Maguire, Anthony Gobert, Troy Doran and Peter Melton. And at the rear, we had Craig Dirk. Most certainly will be eliminated from the first lap. Craig running into trouble at the line there. But come on here in Victoria. Your man on the gas is Stephen Maguire. Then it's Anthony Gobert. Peter Melton through on the inside of Troy Doran. Side by side through the stutter bumps. Troy Doran just moving ahead of the Queenslander. The top race action, race leader from out of Bacchus Marsh is Stephen Maguire. Riding for Cranbourne Suzuki. Over the tabletop, 1 lap down. The last 2 will have to drop out. and that would be Philip Sargent and Dean Burt. Through the double jump section into the starters. Stephen Maguire moving on the back wheel there. Holding the momentum of the bike right as Anthony Gobert's moving up on the inside. Meters separated straight away. Stephen Maguire, Anthony Gobert. Then it's back to Troy Doran and Peter Melton. Come on, Victoria. You've got the New South Walesman, 16 years of age, Anthony Gobert. One rider gets ready to drop out, and it's Peter Melton. The Queenslander heads for the infill. Stephen Maguire, Anthony Gobert, that's the order. Remember, only the last man stays out there. Gobert up on the inside. Here's the chance. Come on here, Victoria. Stephen Maguire, get behind him. He needs you now. Starter, hold on. Come on, go, Stephen. Stephen Maguire. Anthony Gobert looks for the one on the inside. Turns the bike there. Up over the double jump. Here's the action. As heading for pit lane is Troy Doran. One more lap to go, and Gobert's on the inside. Half a lap to run, and we've got Suzuki versus Kawasaki, Victoria versus New South Wales. Here's the go. Maguire's in trouble. Gobert's alongside him, side by side. This is the action you're going to see tonight. Maguire versus Gobert. This is the go. Oh, Stephen Maguire. Anthony Gobert, the go show. Up high in the raceway. Stephen Maguire looking for gold. One winner only. Maguire sideways onto the straight and takes gold. Well, come on here. Put your hands together for Victoria's Stephen Maguire. That's the stuff. And what about for the young fella from out of Oakdale? Come on here, Victoria. Put your hands together for the 16-year-old Anthony Gobert. He's got some fans on champion and leading the points chase. But this is the grade qualifier heat for 125cc machines.
Try and look for an early leader here. The gate's just about to drop. They're all ready. And they're off. And we've got a good start here on the outside, the Honda machinery. Whoa, with a bit of a mix-up in the first turn. They're three go down. The action's hot here tonight. In front we have 522. He approaches the tabletop. He launches off. It goes over well. One on the right is Mark King. He's in second position. He's in hot pursuit for the lead. We have Daniel Horowitz, I think, up there as well as Peter Barr. Mark King makes a charge coming around the outside. He's taken the lead. Approaches the double jump. Does it beautifully there. In second position, we've got 522. That's Damon Bartlett on the Kawasaki there. Mark King still out in front. Approaches the Studders. He's doing it well out in front. The track looks a bit slippery at the moment, but I can see Craig Tanner coming up in the field. He's making his way up pretty well. There's Craig Wayne going over Studders, but back to the leader. We have Mark King. He's coming down for the first lap, doing it well in the C-grade Kawasaki event. In second position, we have 522, 554, 522, sorry, Damian Bartlett. Pretty hard to pick the numbers up from here. They down one lap with 4 to go. Mark King still holding down first place. I can see number 70, that's Peter Locock. He's starting to move through the field. As long as 111 is on there. Oh, we have a big crash, do we? But in front, we still have Mark King. He's doing it well out in front. Craig Tanner has moved up in the second position. He just ripped up the curve. I think he's going to go after Mark King. 124, that's Paul Ackerman. He's in third position. He's moved his way through, as well as Paul Locock. Look at that double. Hangs onto it beautifully, but comes over the tabletop. He's got 3 laps to go. Craig Tanner does a big jump, makes a bit of ground, takes the outside line. Mark King still in front. Craig Tanner back on the inside again. Still in third position, we have Paul Ackerman with number 70. It's Locock. Whoa, we have a lot going on there in the first two. It's a good race. We've got Craig Tanner. He's just taken the lead over from Mark King. He looks to be riding really well. Nice and fluent through the starters at the moment. Paul Ackerman's making a bit of a charge coming up to third. Peter Locock just jumped on the inside. And we've got 5:22. That's Craig Bland coming up through the field as well. So back to the leader once again. It's Craig Tanner. He's done a beautiful job. He's pulled away from the early leader, Mark King. He comes over the double, jumps in well. Paul Ackerman just, oh, we'll have a crash down here. Everything's all right. One of them's just bit the dust, but he'll pick it up, he'll be right. But back to the leader, we have Craig Tanner. He's doing it well out in front. Paul Ackerman, Mark King's been relegated back to third position. Peter Wocock's jumping on the inside as well. Paul Ackerman has just been passed again. He's back into third position once again with Mark King closely contesting this event. But back to our leader, Craig Tanner. He's doing a wonderful job out in front. Paul Ackerman is reviewing the second spot with Mark King. He's in hot pursuit of Paul Ackerman. Back to the leader, we have Craig Tanner. There's a yellow flag down just ahead of him. We have a fallen rider. It is 3-1-2, I'm pretty sure. Right? Back to the leader, we have Craig Tanner. He's about to get this checkered flag for the Kawasaki Australia C-Grade 125 event. Craig Tanner takes it out in fine style. Paul Ackerman coming across. Second place, Peter Wocock. This will be close. He gets third position with a lap right of 5:02. In third, we have fourth actually is Mark King. That was a good race there. And the race went down quick.
For Kawasaki Australia, Lee Hogan for Honda, making the switch from Kawasaki. 15 laps the journey. This is leg one. They score 20 points for a win. Gate drops, we've got action. On the inside, it's for Kawasaki. Outside, I should say, Kawasaki on the first burn. He's got the throttle of the stop and moves out. Then it's back to the Honda mounted. And he's down. Oh, one rider there down faster than Normie Rowe on the midday show. Picks up the action, McRae Dack up into second. Race leader on the Kawasaki is Queensland's Peter Melton. Peter on bike number 7 for Bayside Kawasaki. Then it's back to Craig Dack, the defending champion. On the inside, Troy Doran on the Yamaha. Dack looks for the attack through the starter bump. Troy Doran right on the tail of the Peter Jackson Yamaha. And Craig Dack tonight really going to be under a lot of pressure. Nursing an injured leg in Perth last weekend and knows that he's got to get points tonight to keep his championship, and he'll put pain behind him as he'll go on with the determination that we know he's got. The handlebar heroes really sort them out in the early stages of the 15-lap moto for leg one of the Coca-Cola Australian Supercross Championship. Peter Melton, tremendous hole shot there on the Bayside Kawasaki. Then it's back to Craig Dack. Craig Dack, then the attacker there. Philip Sargent moving in the traffic. And we look back for Anthony Gobert. Roll back in the pack. Likewise with Stephen Maguire. Bike number 3, Lee Hogan, down in the early part of the event. Peter Melton on the riding for Bayside Kawasaki into the treble jump section of the raceway. On his third lap of his 15-lap journey, Craig Dack moves out ahead of Troy Doran. So out in front, Queensland, Victoria, second and third. Stan Bergen on bike 13. Oh, Stan Bergen there really had the bike sideways onto the main straight. Up onto the burn. Bergen really got the throttle to the stop. Back in the pack there is Anthony Gobert. On bike number 11. Kawasaki rider in bike 96. Craig Rutherford. Done a good job right from the start. But Peter Melton and Craig Dack starting to close the gap on Peter Melton. Don't forget 15 laps the journey, 2 15-lap motos and a 20-lap final. Peter Melton looking for 20 points, Craig Dack for 17. The end of the night, the highest point scorer reverts back to the 20-point overall as one rider off the side into the hay bales. Peter Melton getting ready to put a lap on a rider, the rider moving to the side. Craig Dack picking up a bit of time there. on the Peter Jackson Yamaha. Craig Dack particularly fast in the starter bump section. And Anthony Gobert picks himself up, and he is on the move. Joined by Stan Bergen. Philip Sargent back in about 7th or 8th at the moment. And Stephen Maguire, the winner of the first event on the program, the pursuit race, is well back in the traffic. Peter Melton won the final leg of the championship in Burswood at the Burswood Superdome in Perth last Saturday night. The bikes were freighted over here to compete for the final round tonight, with Peter dropping 2 points to Craig Dack on the night. Craig Dack knowing he only needs a few points to win the Australian Supercross Championship for the second time. One rider there right off the planet. Peter Melton out about 4 seconds in front. I'd say Ponty looking very sharp on the bike number 7. And Peter Melton there is really in trouble through that starter section. And this is set course back to pick up the action. Craig Dack up onto the back of the Kawasaki. Queensland versus Victoria. Come on here at Victoria's Altona Baseball Centre. Get your action running. We're going to have a Supercross race here tonight as Peter Melton is going to start to feel the pressure of Craig Dack. Right on. Then it's back to Anthony Gobert. High on the boom as he goes over the double jump. The 16-year-old from out of Oakdale, back in 4th place, and he needs points tonight. Equal to Stephen Maguire going into this event. But the points tally is not done until the final event tonight. And Craig Dack is hot after Melton. Melton in trouble now. A left rider in the road. Craig Dack there, right up on the tail of the Kawasaki. The Dack attack is on. High on the burn, Craig Dack for the Peter Jackson Yamaha team. Peter Melton through on the inside of a left rider there and picks up a little bit of ground to Craig Dack over the MC Mart tabletop. One rider down in the middle of the burn. This enables Dack to close the gap, and Craig Dack is right up onto the tail of Peter Melton. Halfway gone, I'd say for sure. Craig Dack about 3 or 4 bike lengths behind, and here's the run on the inside from Craig Dack. Oh, Craig Dack! Craig Dack down faster than Normie Rowe on the midday show. Picks himself up. Come on with the attack. Come on here in Victoria. He needs you. Right now, get behind this rider. He's out entertaining you. Believe me, this is not easy. Craig Dack. Anthony Gobert up onto the inside of Craig Dack. This has caused the young charger to pick up ground. Here it is, here's the Go Show. Anthony Gobert on the bike number 11 for Kawasaki Australia. He's got the answer in his answer pants tonight, and he really has got the throttle to the stop, and it would mean a lot to him to get by. Craig Dack. Anthony Gobert makes the charge on the inside. Craig Dack sideways through the starters. Into the straight. Come on here at Altona. Here's the good for Anthony Gobert. Goes on the inside. Dack fights back, and believe me, you have seen Supercross at its best. Anthony Gobert looks for the charge back on the inside of Craig Dack. Dack needs the points. Peter Melton's put it in cruise control. He's out in front and looking smooth. Over the double jump, back into the triple jump section of the straightaway. Past the wreck air sign. Craig Dack, bike number 1. Anthony Gobert for Kawasaki. An answer product. Gobert ready for the run on the inside of Craig Dack. Dack looks to the outside charge. Gobert coming on him. About 4 bikes separate them now. Craig Dack high on the ball, and Gobert fires the shot on the inside. Over the double jump. Queuing up terra firma. Every part of this raceway now attention. Well, Craig Dack coming down onto the front wheel very strongly, but kept the bike in the right motion. Talk about the expression session. This is the aggression session. And it's Craig Dack up against Anthony Gobert, fighting it out for 2nd and 3rd as Peter Melton looks over his shoulder. Can see he's pulled away through Craig Dack making that mistake. And Gobert looks for the run on the inside. going through the starters again. Grey Jack, he can feel that young charger there. Over the double jump. Go Bird looking for the run on the inside. Turns the bike there tighter than his father in a pair of stretch jeans. Over the double one more time. Grey Jack for the Peter Jackson Yamaha team. The current 250cc Australian motocross champion. Defending champion tonight in the Australian Supercross Championship. Peter Melton out in front in the cruise gear. He's at that far out in front at the moment. We can time him with a sundial. Grey Jack puts the boot forward, takes the bike through that turn in fine style. He's got the precision right now. Anthony Gobert's the aggressor right up behind him. He can smell the fumes coming out of that Yamaha, and he wants to get by. Kawasaki's running 1 and 3. Peter Melton, race leader. Anthony Gobert on the Kawasaki back in third, and the current champion, defending champion, Grey Jack. Points valuable early in the night. Anthony Gobert comes up for a run on the inside to Grey Jack again. Jack is hot tonight. He knows the young charger's there. Peter Melton gets the last, one lap to go, last lap forward, comes out. Peter Melton, bike number 7, the Bayside Kawasaki, the bike prepared by Ronnie McFarlane and the McFarlane crew here tonight. 15 laps to journey. Peter Melton through the starters for the final time. Grey Jack into the starters. Come on here at Altona. Gobert makes a run on the inside of Grey Jack. Come on, sportsman. 1 lap to go. Half a lap. Gobert's on the inside. Grey Jack knows it. Here's the chance. Gobert on the inside there. Side by side, they head for the double. Seconds to run. Gobert turns the bike on the inside and down. Anthony Gobert is down. Grey Jack through for second, and Anthony Gobert fires her up to get across the line. Will he get third? Third. He saw the shot. Took the...
So there should be some really hot action here, John.
It was Philip Sargent there in third on the points. He's a rider that can do the job. So I think the fans are ready for some real action here in this 125cc leg 1 of the Australian Supercross Championship.
Yeah, right. And we've got the early leader on the Honda. Outside is Glenn McDonald. He's made a charge. Cameron Taylor on the inside. He takes it on the inside. He's grabbed the lead. Cameron Taylor has made a charge. So none of the favourites up ahead. Cameron Taylor, Victorian National 125 champion. Glenn McDonald, it's a bit rough over the old tabletop there. We'll look for Maguire. I can see Sargent up there, but Cameron Taylor, he's opened up a bit of a break. He's going to get out there early and try and break him up. He comes over the tabletop, the double, does it well. Glenn McDonald, one of the top junior riders over here, is doing well. 31. That is Steve Maguire. I can see him up there as well. Phil Sargent is up there. He's doing it well. Anthony Gobert is a fair way back in the pack. He should make a charge. But Cameron Taylor...
Seen as the gate drops, and we've got the whole shot from a Suzuki. Into the first turn, he's got the rooster. Look at the Hondas. They're ready to pounce. The blood red Hondas are in there. Handlebar to handlebar. Oh, one rider there sliding the bike sideways, but out in front. Race leader, bike number 34. 32. Shane Watts on 32. I thought it was 34, but this is the action coming up here now. It is bike number 32, Shane Watts, and he's got the throttle to the top. Honda's in 2 and 3. Fonzie, certainly good action, and you know these guys out there a lot better than I do.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to call these races here, but
out in front, DC Australian Supercross Championship Leg 2. Tonight coming to you by Revs. Fonzie, can you pick a winner?
yeah, I think Steve Maguire, he wants it badly. He wants the Australian 125 Supercross title here, so he's going to be all out for this one. Just watch Steve Maguire on 31.
What do you think, fans? Do you think it's going to be Stephen Maguire? Come on, he's a Victorian. Do you think Stephen Maguire can do it? We have a police officer to the manager's office in the grounds, please. police officer, please.
Tony Child hit 10. I got to go
To the ground manager's office.
up the hit list.
Gate drops. We've got action on the inside. It's Kawasaki. Kawasaki's got the whole shot, but on the outside there was Suzuki mounted Mark Kirkman. Go-Bird on the inside, and the Go Show has got the lead in the first part. Anthony Go-Bird on the Kawasaki. Back in the pack is Stephen Maguire, winner of the first event. Anthony Go-Bird just needs to take this one out, and he could be assured of winning the Australian Supercross Championship for 125cc. And on the inside there, a challenge is on from bike number
31, that's Steve Maguire. He's back in sixth position. He'll be making a move through the field. Ian Cunningham there. 59 is Clem McDonald. He's in second position there. He's pushing Anthony Gobert there. They've come together on numerous occasions. But Anthony Gobert, he's taking the challenge pretty well here. Clem McDonald, that's 51. He's right behind him. Mark Kirkman's in third position. Suzuki Australia mounted rider. That's Sam Bergen in fourth. But they're going at it. Hammer and Tong in front. Clem McDonald just nipped through. He's got Anthony Gobert. Clem McDonald riding really well for K&J Thomas Motorcycles. He's nipped the lead. He's riding really well. 13, Sam Bergen. 12 is Cameron Taylor. Steve Maguire, he's coming through the field. But Clem McDonald, he's got the lead. Anthony Gobert coming round the outside. This will be one-on-one contest. Anthony Gobert, he snaps back the lead, comes over the double. Clem McDonald gets a lot of air. Kirkman's in third. Sam Bergen's in fourth. Cameron Taylor's running in fifth. Maguire's in sixth, and Ian Cunningham, the late charger, is running in seventh position there. The factory leader, it is Anthony Gobert. The Go Show, Anthony Gobert out in front and on the gas, but he's got the challenger Glenn McDonald, and Glenn is on the front wheel of the bike there. Sam Bergen on bike number 30, he's got the belly in the mover. But Mark Kirkman back on the Suzuki tonight after a couple of weeks layoff, and he's showing that he is a superior rider. Anthony Gobert has just turned on the gas and taken the Kawasaki out to quite a strong little lead there. Then it's back to Glenn McDonald. Glenn, up from junior rank, certainly doing a strong job there. Gobert's just got to be smooth in this one, because this can be his race and clinch the Australian Championship before he goes into the final event. Anthony Gobert, number 11, from out of Oakdale. Action back in the pack, Stephen Maguire. Back in about fifth spot at the moment, and he's got to get up there. Philip Sargent, further back. Philip Sargent back in about seventh. Paul Simmons, mid-pack at the moment. But Anthony Gobert over the MC Mark Coca-Cola tabletop. Glenn McDonald, Kawasaki as well in there. Turner on the roost with his bike. Stephen Maguire, he's on the shoe now. He's up alongside Mark Kirkman. The pair of them have a triple jump. Kirkman on the outside. Maguire on the inside. Maguire has slipped through on the inside. Into the start of the game. Maguire now up into about fourth. Anthony Gobert out in lead, and Glenn McDonald really sideways on the main straight. The best mudguard. But the winner is Anthony Gobert, the Go Show. Second place is Sam Bergen. Glenn McDonald takes the third, and Steve Maguire, well fought, fourth place there. They've done it well in the 125 Championship.
Well, the hot news would be there for Anthony Gobert. One more motor to go, but I think he can put the glasses down. That's what I came here for. He's certainly an Iron Man. Been down there and he's just strapped himself up.
What I mean, and I do.
Your copy of Revs. Some of the hottest Yamahas, Hondas, Suzukis, Kawasaki's, ready for 15 laps as they're bound for glory.
Are you sick of going to nightclubs only to find out that the people there just aren't your scene? Well, don't stay at home.
I think 21 riders face the start.
There's something...
Everyone back into position. Fans, get ready to go racing. 15 laps coming your way. The DAC attack is on for the second moto.
Just keep happening.
If you haven't been to the Paladin
Craig Dack, current point leader. Peter Melton, hot man on the night, winning the first moto.
to start the evening off.
Troy Darn, victorious Troy Darn from out of Geelong. Bike number 6 with his brother preparing the bike. He's done a tremendous job and they're great campaigners. Big action ready, we're ready for a start. They're in the hands, we've got the gates dropped and we're at the whole shot. Who gets the whole shot? It is Craig Dack on the inside. But Queensland's Peter Milton. Bike number 7, Kawasaki on the gas. Peter is hot tonight. In there is Troy Darn, Craig Dack. Lee Hogan in there on the Honda tonight. Change of machinery, but look at Peter Melton. Up to the triple jump. Double that section. Peter Melton, bike number 7, 15 laps the journey. Ray Dack's around on the chase. Troy Darn through into second. Anthony Gobert back in about 4th or 5th there. They make the charge into the main straightaway. Lee Hogan off. Up into 3rd. Lee Hogan, Stephen McGuire and Stan Bergen. Craig Dack on the bike, number 1. He's got to go for it, and Dack's come on the inside of Maguire. Gobert was down. Anthony Gobert's foot is back, and this lets Stephen Maguire up there. 2 points separate Gobert and Maguire. Oh, down goes Stephen Maguire. In goes Anthony Gobert gets back. Oh, have we got Supercross action here, but out in front on cruise control is Peter Melton. Maguire losing a lot of ground there. Lee Hogan up into 3rd. Anthony Gobert back to 4th, and Craig Dack. Troy Doran riding a perfect race, holding down his 2nd, while Peter Melton cruises out in front, looking for another 20 points. We have got a Supercross coming your way tonight. Anthony Gobert just ahead of Craig Dack. Peter Melton now's got Troy Doran coming on him. Troy Doran making a charge there. Lee Hogan on the Honda doing a top job on bike number 3. Then it's back to Anthony Gobert, who went down in the stutters. Craig Dack in there, and it's Stan Bergen. Stephen Maguire, who was up there. Peter Melton comes around one more time on the Kawasaki. Flips through on the inside of a lap rider there, does it in fine style. And he's put a lap on Stephen Maguire. But the rider to watch is Troy Doran. He's just sneaking in there very steadily as he tries to put a lap on 2 bikes there. Turns the bike nice and tight on the inside. Troy Doran here putting another lap on a rider. But Peter Melton had slipped back. Melton dropped back there. We got new race leader in Troy Doran. Troy Doran out in front. Peter Melton back to 2nd. Troy Doran, race leader on bike 6 for Metro Yamaha. Then it's Brisbane's Kawasaki, Peter Melton. Come on, Victoria, get behind Troy Doran. Go, Troy. Troy Doran into the straight. Over halfway distance gone. Melton on the inside. Peter Melton there. Then it's back to Troy Doran. Over the double jump. Melton on the inside. And he takes it. Wham, bam, thank you, bam. And look at Troy Doran coming back at him. Troy Doran and Peter Melton. Peter Melton cruised back to the front there. Troy Doran there flying out at him. This will bring his father Cole Doran really alive. Peter Melton for Bayside Kawasaki. Troy Doran. Maguire the next to them, but a lap down. So we look for the action further back, and I think Lee Hogan is starting to feel Anthony Gobert and Craig Dack coming in there. Craig Dack on the inside of him. Craig Dack through the stutters. Gobert switches in front of Dack. Through the stutters. Lee Hogan, Anthony Gobert around the outside. Lee Hogan, Craig Dack turns on the inside of Lee Hogan. Oh, come on, thrill seekers. This is top Supercross action. Gobert around the outside. Lee Hogan on the Honda. Then it's back to Craig Dack. Race leader, Peter Melton. Troy Doran. Maguire a lap down. Then it's back to Anthony Gobert. Lee Hogan and Craig Dack. Can't be a lot of laps left to run. Peter Melton across the line there. Peter going down and during 3/4 of the race distance. Craig Dack and Lee Hogan going. This time Dack's gone by and Lee Hogan's coming back at him. Craig Dack on the Peter Jackson Yamaha. Up onto the tail of Gobert. Lee Hogan in there on the Honda. Look for the run back on the inside. Lee Hogan's alongside Dack again. Supercross at its best here at Altona for the final round. Lee Hogan making a strong comeback to racing after serious injuries at Coffs Harbour in the start of the season. And tonight here he's firing them up. And Dack, Craig Dack, the Dack attack is on. Can't be far off the last lap. Anthony Gobert over the tabletop. Then it's the Peter Jackson rider, Craig Dack. Peter Melton. Cruising home and getting set to take moto number 2. 20 points for Peter Melton. Troy Doan from out of Geelong. Held it tonight here at Altona for the final round of the Australian Supercross Championship. Then it's Anthony Gobert, then Craig Dack, Lee Hogan on the last lap. 15 laps to journey, and believe me, these guys are earning it tonight. It's still the final to come. 20 more laps of endurance out there. Anthony Gobert just ahead of Craig Dack. Then it's back to Lee Hogan. But get ready for it. Race winner, put your hands together. Queensland's Peter Melton. Second to Victoria's Troy Doan. Few lap riders go across the line, but here he is. Put your hands together for Anthony Gobert. Peter Jackson rider, Craig. Trying to put your hands together for the 16-year-old rider from out of Oakdale in New South Wales, the Go Show Anthony Gobert.
Wonderful ride. Congratulations, Anthony. Wonderful ride. A few words and thank your sponsors. Yeah, I've had a really good round. I'm very, very happy to win it in my first year. And I'm just a bit of a shame I haven't gone so good in the 250, but I suppose how I am in that's pretty good as well. But also, I just like to thank a few people who have helped me out through the series. Grant Oliver, who's now helping me in the mechanic, he's done a good job in the last and also some of the sponsors who have helped me, Steve Kramer Products, so with him next year, and I'm looking forward to a very good relationship with him. And also Dunlop Tyres and Shell Oils, Arrow Helmets, and just all of them. Thanks a lot.
Thanks very much. Well, come on, sports fans, we'll get the three of them together for their photographs, etc. And we want to hear you thank Anthony Gobert, Stephen Maguire, and Philip Sargent. Well, on the count of 3, let's hear it. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Thank you very much. The final moto for the Australian Supercross Championship. Craig Dack, the defending champion, goes into the final with equal points with Anthony Gobert, both on 28 points. And we're going to move over to the start line here, and we just get a quick word with these guys before. Obviously a little bit out of contingency for the overall, but a great...
Yeah, I'm glad to be back on the Supercross again, and on the Honda I feel really good.
Let's hear it for Honda rider Whitney Hogan, and it's got some full points chalked up to, here he is, and he is Stan the man. Put your hands together for Stan Bergen. Stan, you're on the gas tonight. Your points tally, 21 points going your way at the moment. One moto to go. How's your action for the next 20 laps? Right with me now before the race starts, I've got a man of the moment standing right here. Would you put your hands together and welcome Stephen Andrew? Stephen, I guess you'd love to be out there right now, but who do you think's going to come up front?
Oh, it's going to be a tough race, I suppose. Everyone wants to go out there and win, so I'll just wait and see what happens here.
There he is. Come on, one more time. Put your hands together for Stephen Andrew. Ready to kick goal. And here we are, Fonzie. You're going to take the mic back up to the top.
Some girls that I knew.
Craig Dack's nylons, just put in a bid for them. They'll be down at the Dack Attack tent tonight, so we'll get the show on the road.
Thanks, Fonzie. Well, there you are. Don't forget to have a crack at the auction after the show for the Craig Dack Attack nylons. This is the final moto. 20 laps. The moment
ran pretty good tonight, and we should see a really good start. It won't be long before they take. I'm not too sure it is, but Peter Melton, he's grabbed the whole shot again. Lee Hogan's up there. as well as Troy Doran. Troy Doran's in second position. Peter Melton, the banana bender from Queensland, he's out in front. He's serving it right up to him at the moment. Troy Doran, the local lad, he's doing well. He wants this meeting, he wants it bad. It's Peter Melton out in front, the Jack Attack, he's running in third position. It's Go, but he's in fourth. Paul Bowman riding for City West Motorcycle. Oh, he's doing a fine tonight in fifth position. He'll be really happy with his performance. Lee Hogan riding for Honda, he's in sixth position with the leader, Peter Melton, the banana bender from Queensland. He is riding, oh, he's on fire tonight. He launches over the double, just about to put one lap behind him. Troy Doran in hot pursuit. He's just sitting there waiting for him. Jack Attack, he's in third. Go but four. Paul Bowman's in fifth position. He's doing a really good job tonight riding for City West Motorcycles. But out in front we have Peter Melton from Bayside Kawasaki. Troy Doran from Metro Yamaha. He's riding really well. Go, and he's just come up to Jack. There's going to be a challenge on there. Oh, it's pretty close. Jack holds on the third. Oh, Doran gets out of shape and hangs onto the bike pretty well. Jovit, he's after Jack. He comes up the inside. He's going to nail Jack. Jack comes back on the inside, takes him, but Jovit, he's coming back. He knows how to mess with the big boys. Oh, yes, lovely move by Jovit. He's put himself in the third position there. But out in front, Peter Melton, he's just getting further and further away from him. He's riding really consistent tonight. Second is Troy Doran. He's riding really well with Go, but he's pushing up early third. Then Jack Attack. He's miles of a sale after the meeting, anyone wants him. And then we have Sanderman Bergen from New South Wales. Paul Bowman, he's in 60 just to get passed by Steve McGuire. The Pearl, he's riding really well tonight. But out in front is Peter Melton, and Peter Melton, he's really on the gas tonight. Then we have Doran, Metro Yamaha Doran, Go Bet, he's running third, the young 16-year-old from Oakdale. Craig Jack, the Jack Attack from Torquay, Victoria. He knows how to show it. He'll just stay there and he'll get him until the end of the race comes up. And I'll hand you over to John.
The ex-Bonzi, but out in front, Peter Melton, the Queenslander, is looking for another 20 points. Troy Doran, who's looking for 3 seconds. Anthony Gobert. On bike number 11, the Kawasaki. Then it's back to Craig Jack, but Steenbergen's the one to watch back in the pack there. He's starting to show a fair bit of aggression, Stan is. And Stephen McGuire moving up onto the tail of Steenbergen on the Yamaha. But Peter Melton puts another lap down. I think 5 laps gone at this stage in the 20-lap final. Remember, 20 laps is the journey this time, and believe me, it will get tough in the last half. Peter Melton, bike number 7. Only one fall earlier in heat 2, regained control of the bike, got back past Troy Doran. And Troy Doran now, he had the back of the bike bouncing then. Craig Jack settling down into 4th. Anthony Gilbert on the charge. He's got the taste of victory, this boy. He's the current Australian 125 Supercross champion, and he's heading to put for a place on the roster in the 250cc class. Peter Melton, straightaway time again. He's ready to put a lap on bike number 83. Peter Melton smooth on the bike, leans back onto the back wheel, lifts the front of the Bayside Kawasaki. Troy Doran on the Metro Yamaha, starting to close the gap right up on the belt. When they hit the straightaway, Melton lines on the Kawasaki and grabs a little bit of extra boost. Peter Melton on the inside of that lap rider. Troy Doran through into a comfortable second up onto the tail of Peter Melton. Anthony Gobert hanging on to that 3rd place, and that will make him 3rd in the 250cc class in the Australian Supercross Championship. Craig Jack can finish where he is, and he will still win the Australian Supercross Championship.
Doesn't have to try then.
Settle down on the bike there, and he, as I speak, he's right out of shape through the stutters. Every time tonight, Peter, when he's wound up, he can do the job, and certainly he's settled into a very comfortable format. He looks smooth on the bike, rides it all over the track wherever he wants to go. Peter is in charge. Hails from out of Acacia Ridge in Queensland, professional motocross rider. Troy Doran Anthony Gobert with a big jump down there. Oliver Stutters and Craig Jack sitting back in fourth. And Craig Jack could drop back to sixth before he would have a worry on his championship for 1991. Halfway gone, I think, in this event. Linda says yes. Linda's the one in the PA box with the colourful pants on. Here's Peter Melton one more time out of the starters. Gives leans back onto the back wheel of the bike. Takes it through in fine form. Really doing the job. Then it's back to Troy Doran. Oh, and Craig Jack a little out of shape there. I guess Craig is really starting to feel that leg. Look at Stephen Maguire off the planet up alongside Stan Bergen and Lee Hogan in there. These three are really turning on the gas. A lot happening soon in the releases for 1992 of the various teams that will be campaigned. Up over the tabletop. One more time. Peter Melton out in front on the Bayside Kawasaki. Picked up 40 points. And he's heading for 60. And I think he'll miss out by about 2 points or 1 point. Rides 125 and 250 machine. Peter Melton cruises out in front. Stan Bergen, wham bam, thank you ma'am, Stan Bergen. Fits the deck. Yellow flag out, Peter Melton cruises by. Peter Melton for Bayside Kawasaki. Troy Doran held down second, very strong in all motos tonight. Troy is sponsored by Metro Yamaha in Queensland. Uses Yokohama, Tinaloo. Great campaigner. Family right behind the sport. His brother Mark Doran. An apprentice weightlifter. Looks after the bike. His father Cole, one of the promoters of tonight's show. In tonight's meeting, the final round of the Australian Supercross Championship here at Altona in Victoria. Peter Melton, another lap down. How many laps gone now, Linda? Linda just checking the computer figures. And I think there's about 4 laps remaining in the 20-lap final. Certainly, those tough these guys to handle this amount of laps. 2 15s and a 20. Craig Jack getting ready to chalk up his second Australian Supercross Championship. Here in front of the hometown crowd. Peter Melton looking set to take place. One of the best riders in Australia, and he's proving it tonight with his smoothness. And as you say, he's put a lap on Lee Hogan, and he's not far off a lap on Maguire, as I think the last lap board is out. One more time around for Peter Melton, and he'll take out the final round of the Australian Supercross Championship. Tonight brought to you by Revs. Don't forget to get your copy of Revs for the results of all the action picks of the Australian Supercross Championship. Peter Melton set to take out tonight's show. And Craig Jack ready to be crowned the 1991 Australian Supercross Champion. Peter Melton would be runner-up, and Anthony Gobert would be third. Put your hands together for race winner Peter Melton. A bit of style from Peter Melton. Queensland's favourite from out of Bayside Kawasaki. Second across the line, Troy Doran from out of Geelong and Victoria. Third, Anthony Gobert from out of Oakdale in New South Wales. and defending champion Craig Dack across the line.